She said every night they was on the same bill, she would say, Marvin. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. I know you like, Nay, what the fuck is that on your head? A do-rag? I'm in a do-rag kind of mood today. I have a haircut. My barber back home. I need to find me a barber here in Georgia until I relocate back home. But as of right now, baby, the do-rag is what you gonna get. Okay. You still love me? I still love you. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, whoa, let's continue reading Bettye LaVette's A Woman Like Me with David Ritz. One of the first things I learned was the severity of my mistake in leaving Atlantic. I couldn't interest another label, so when I spotted Luther Dixon walking down Broadway, I was excited. These were the days when all the girl singers were looking for a producer husband, and all of us were looking for Luther. He was a fantastic writer, a guy who'd composed for everyone from Perry Como to Bobby Darin to Elvis to Jimmy Reed. I told y'all as a child, me and my sister sang on stage at the Kennedy Center honors with Perry Como. Yup, indeedy we did. Luther was the creative power behind Florence Greenberg and Skepta Records, where the Shirelles had broken the bank. A little later, Luther would marry Inez Fox, famous for Mockingbird, her duo with her brother Charlie. But when I saw Luther walking down Broadway that day, he was a free man. Betty, he said, what are you doing in New York, baby? Working at Small's Paradise? You recording right now? No, I'm not. You're interested in going into the studio? You know I am. Got a track that might work for you. Come with me and let's see if you pick up the melody. If it works out, I'll take it to Florence. If she likes it, we'll release it as a single. Cool? Cool. Cutting it was strange. I had never sung over a track. I was used to live men playing their instruments behind me. I liked the excitement. No matter I did what I had to do. Luther liked it and said he'd get back to me with Florence's reaction. He never did. I never saw him again. I never saw Florence. 25 years passed before I heard another word about the song. It wasn't until the 90s when a British label said they'd gone through the Skepta vaults and found this song by me. What's it called? I asked. Happiness Will Only Cost You One Thin Dime. The title didn't immediately ring a bell, and when they played it, I wasn't even sure that it was me singing. If it's not me, I told the English guys, we need to find this bitch. After repeated listenings, I did recognize my voice and remember the Luther Dixon episode. A far more memorable recording from the mid-60s was something I was sure was a hit. Frank Cassian introduced me to Nate McCullough, whose Underworld contacts bankrolled Collar Records. Frank convinced Nate to put me on his label. Musically, the pieces seemed to be coming together. Personally, though, things were not great. I was living with a barber who was a drug dealer and a hustler. My friend Dee Dee Ford was still in love with this Gaye trumpet player. Let Me Down Easy, a song that for legal reasons Dee Dee wrote under the name Reich Holloway. Don Gardner produced the session, and we were lucky to get Dale Warren, a Detroit arranger who'd worked with the Supremes, to write the chart. It was a mournful thing. It was a soulful thing. I was 19 when I recorded it, but people said I sounded 30. It came out in 1965, the year Marvin had Ain't That Peculiar, and the Temps had My Girl. Let Me Down Easy did reach number 20 on the R&B chart, but then it vanished in a flash. Some of the fault might have been mine, because she said the dude McCullough gave her a lot of money. Okay, here go your money. I need you to push this song. Instead of her choosing the Ed Sullivan Show, like what Berry Gordy did for his acts in Motown, she was thinking as a teenager and said, okay, well, let me appeal to the younger audiences, and went on Shindig. She believes that that was a detriment to the success of the song. My appearance on Shindig, no doubt, helped Let Me Down Easy from going down too fast. I call it a minor hit, but I still think of it as a major song. Nearly a half century later, I'm still singing the motherfucker and feeling the truth of the message. I was singing the song at the Regal Theater in Chicago on the same bill with the Dells, the Radiants, and Marvin Gaye. I saw this as my chance to finally catch Marvin. When it came to approaching women, Marvin always looked like a frightened lamb, but I vowed to be gentle enough to make him comfortable. Child. Girl, Marvin gooped you, girl. Marvin played too many Marvin games. Way too many games. She said every night they was on the same bill, she would say, Marvin. And Marvin would say he would come through, but it never showed. Until she was like, screw it then. He ain't trying to give me no ling-ling, so let me just go on about my business. The day she decided to do a end of the venue party, I know Marvin heard them people partying inside that room. She said he knocked on the door. It's a party going on in there. I was thinking maybe tonight we could get together. Oh, well. And walked away. This girl said she was kicking herself in the ass the whole time. Why, girl? Marvin wasn't going to give you none of that ling-ling. Number one, you ain't young enough. You ain't young enough. He worked for Motown, don't he? 19 is too fucking old for him, girl. Okay? Sheesh, Marvin Gaye played too many damn games. Don't you know, girl? Girl, leave that Marvy poo alone. Talk on me, Marvin ain't no good. Toot, toot, beep, beep. He ain't no good for you. Marvin had finally come for me, and I blew it. I'd lost a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm still kicking myself. I don't know why. He wasn't going to give you none. He wasn't going to give you none of that ling-ling. He tricked you, girl. At the same time, poor toot, toot, beep, beep. Girl, it's okay. You gonna get another opportunity to fuck a crooner. I'm sure you screwed a lot of them along the way, including the Otis Redding. The deepest truth, though, was that New York, for all its thrills, hadn't given me what I'd sought. In my mind, I had come to the city as a star. Before I got there, I was being billed above Otis Redding. Now, with I've Been Loving You Too Long and Respect, Otis was a much bigger star. I had so much respect for myself that I told a big shot like Jerry Wexler I didn't need Atlantic. Now the song I was singing was called Let Me Down Easy. And believe me, I was singing to myself. At the same time, I can't look back and cast myself as a depressive. It's one thing to have the blues. I think I've had the blues musically and otherwise most of my life, but having the blues is different from depression. To me, depression means despair. Living in New York during the mid-60s, I was not in despair. I always thought the big break was around the corner. I know that's right. You better stay positive, bitch. Tammy Montgomery and Yvonne Fair had much in common. They were singers who had both been with James Brown on stage and in bed. Like me, they loved being around singing stars and pimp producers to whom they gave up their love easily and often. We were essentially groupies who sang. I first met Yvonne when I opened for James Brown. She had a single, I Found You, that James recut himself. It came out as I Got You, I Feel Good, and turned into one of his biggest hits. Yvonne had a strong voice and a carefree attitude. In contrast, Tammy had a coy voice and a hardcore attitude. I met her before she changed her name to Tammi Terrell and left James for David Ruffin and Motown. You say, nigga, what? I ain't never heard that before. You mean to hold Clarence? So I know she was with James the Brownie. Okay, that was something that I learned along the way. Okay, I didn't know that Tammi Terrell was with James the Brownie. Okay, but what I thought was that she was like, oh, I'm tired of James the Brownie. Motown, can you help me? And then, well, I guess that is essentially leaving James the Brownie for Motown. But I didn't know she stopped messing with James the Brownie to mess with David Ruffin. What? So she left one worrisome nigga to go to the next? I was in my dressing room angry that I'd been told that James Brown didn't want me to close my set with Let Me Down Easy because I was getting too much applause. Compared with James' more outrageous dictatorial tirades, this was nothing. Everyone around James was afraid of him. I wasn't. I was ready to challenge him, but I was barred from seeing him. I never got to register my complaint. I respected James's music, but on a personal level, I saw him as an especially ignorant man. I was feeling especially disrespected when my dressing room door burst open and Tammy Montgomery was standing there. All right, bitch, she said. What? Little Tammy? All right, bitch, she said. I know you've been looking for me. She pulled up her skirt and grabbed a handgun wedged against her garter belt. You say what? So wait a minute, Tammy, little Tammy. You can pull out the blicker on Toot Toot Beat Beat Betty, but you can't pull the blicker out on James the Brownie or the David Ruffin? Wow. If you'd have pulled that thing out on them niggas, they wouldn't have put their hands on you, girl. She pulled up her skirt and grabbed a handgun wedged against her garter belt. Okay, pause. So you keeping the pistols in your pussy? Tammi Terrell? Is that what y'all telling me? I laughed. As somebody with a pistol? Okay. I ain't been looking for you, bitch. I said, I don't even know why you here. She told me she'd been hearing my records and wanted me to know she could outsing me any day of the week. Okay, but little Tammy, you could have just said that without pulling up your skirt and pulling a pistol out your pussy. You could have just said it like that, girl. You ain't had to kick the door in and grab the gun and then be like, you been looking for me, bitch? No, I ain't been looking for you, girl. That's confusing to me. She told me she'd been hearing my records and wanted me to know she could outsing me any day of the week. I didn't argue. Only a fool argues with a gun. Seeing I was as sassy as she was, she put the blicker away and declared peace. Answer now. You're not about to pull no blicker out on me and we gonna be friends? No. I will never be comfortable in the same environment, setting, stage, all of that with you. Never, never, never. Because I know you got the propensity to pull the blicker out your pussy. Okay, so I'm not going to be comfortable. Girl, she talking about they became cool. How you going to be cool with a bitch that pulled a blicker out of her pussy on you? We wound up liking each other. Tammy was a free spirit. And in that sense, we were sisters. A couple of years later, as Tammi Terrell, she wound her voice around Marvin's on those beautiful duets. The notion of the groupie singer helps explain why Tammy, Yvonne, and I did the things we did. Diana Ross undoubtedly also fits into the category. Even though we were semi stars ourselves, we were so enamored of the stars that we'd use every feminine charm at the command to win our way into their world. Beyond the sheer delight of being in the company of magnificent artists like Marvin Gaye or David Ruffin, we knew that we needed to be more than good singers. We needed men to sponsor our cause. We knew that they liked hearing us sing, but we also knew that if they enjoyed sex with us, they'd help our careers. Toot toot, yeah, beep beep, da 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 da, toot toot. Hey, beep beep, ba 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 ba, toot toot. Hey, beep beep.